with some people, the ones who seem to light up when they face a tough challenge, while the rest of us might just crumble. Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. We're diving deep into Carol Dweck's incredible book, Mindset, to find the one single belief that, believe it or not, shapes just about every part of your life. It all started with a really simple experiment. Carol Dweck was giving some hard puzzles to a group of kids. She figured some would handle it okay, some would struggle, standard stuff. But what she saw next totally blew her away. One 10-year-old boy, when he got to a really tough puzzle, he didn't get frustrated. He actually pulled his chair in closer, rubbed his hands together, and with a huge grin said, "I love a challenge." He wasn't just putting up with failure, he was thrilled by it. And that one moment right there sparked the question that would drive her entire career. So yeah, why is that? Why do some of us look at a setback and see an interesting problem to solve, while others see it as this crushing judgment on who we are? And what Dweck found out is that it has nothing to do with how talented or intelligent you are. Nope. It's about something much, much deeper. It all boils down to what Dweck calls the two mindsets. It's this one simple belief that we hold about ourselves, but it's so powerful that it pretty much splits the world in two and puts us on two completely different paths in life. Okay, so here they are. First up, you've got the fixed mindset. This is the belief that your qualities, your intelligence, your personality, your talent are basically set in stone. You've got a certain amount, and that's that. End of story. And then you've got the growth mindset. This is the belief that your basic qualities are things you can cultivate through your efforts. Sure, you have a starting point, but our brains are incredibly adaptable. It's a real thing called neuroplasticity. And this one little difference in belief, well, it changes absolutely everything. All right, so first, let's look at how this whole thing messes with our idea of success. Your mindset completely changes the definition of what success even is. Is it all about proving how smart you already are? Or is it about the journey of getting smarter? And I want you to think about this for a second. Seriously, take a moment. When do you personally feel smart? Your gut answer to that question probably tells you a whole lot about where you stand right now. So if you're leaning toward a fixed mindset, you probably feel smartest when things are easy, right? When you get it perfect on the first try, you finish faster than everyone else, you don't make a single mistake. It's all about the performance. The real goal isn't to learn anything new, it's to get that validation, that proof that you are, in fact, smart. But then you look at the growth mindset, and it's a completely different story. Here, you feel smart when you're really stretching yourself, when you're wrestling with something that's way out of your comfort zone and you finally start to get it. Success isn't about being perfect right away, it's about making progress. The goal is your own development. And this, by the way, is exactly why Dweck's research shows that praising a kid's effort, wow, you worked so hard on that, is so much more powerful than praising their talent. Wow, you're so smart. Okay, so if your mindset can redefine success, you can bet it totally flips the script on its opposite, failure. Is a setback a permanent label you have to wear, or is it just a chance to get better? Dweck paints this really vivid picture to show the difference. Just imagine you're having one of those days. You get a C+ on a midterm you studied for. Then you find a parking ticket on your car. And to top it all off, you call your best friend and they kind of just brush you off. It's not the end of the world, but it's just a string of negative things. So how do you respond? For someone in a fixed mindset, this is a total disaster. They don't just see it as a bad day, they see it as a verdict. It becomes, I'm a total failure, or I'm such an idiot. The events aren't just things that happened, they're proof that you're not good enough. And the result? You just feel paralyzed, you want to go home, pull the covers over your head, and just give up. Now, someone with a growth mindset, they see the exact same day and react in a completely different way. They don't see a verdict, they see a to-do list. A C+ means, okay, I need to figure out a better way to study for the next one. A parking ticket means, shoot, gotta be more careful about where I park. A friend being distant means, I wonder if they're okay, I should probably check in. So you see, it's not about feeling hopeless, it's about coming up with a plan. Failure is just information. All right, last big piece of the puzzle here. Let's talk about effort. This is where the two mindsets really go their separate ways. What does it actually mean when you have to try hard? This is gonna sound kind of crazy, but in the fixed mindset, effort is a bad thing. Yeah, the logic goes something like this. If I were really talented, if I were a real genius, this would be easy. I wouldn't have to try so hard. So the very act of putting in effort casts doubt on your natural ability. It kind of proves you're not one of the naturals. And honestly, this comic just nails the whole idea. You see, Calvin there, he's actually doing the work. He's studying, he's reviewing, and what's his friend's reaction? Huh, I used to think you were smart. To her, the fact that he has to try is proof that he isn't actually that bright. It's wild. But the growth mindset, oh, it flips this whole idea on its head. Here, effort isn't the villain of the story. It's the hero. Effort is the secret sauce. It's the thing that takes whatever natural talent you started with and actually turns it into something real, into an accomplishment. Even the greatest geniuses in history had to work their tails off. So we've seen how this one little belief can change everything. Your view of success, of failure, of effort. But here's the most powerful, most important part of this entire idea. Your mindset, it's not locked in. It is not a permanent part of your personality. It is a choice.
Because at the end of the day, mindsets are just that, beliefs.
And you know what? Beliefs are not set in stone. Which means one very, very important thing. You can change your mind. So I want to leave you with this really powerful question, one that was inspired by the tennis legend Billie Jean King. When it's all said and done, when you look back on your life, what do you want that story to be? Are you going to look back on a life spent protecting your ego, polishing your potential like some trophy that you kept on a shelf but never actually used in the game? A life that's full of, I could have been. Or will you look back on a life where you just went for it? A life of stretching and learning and giving it your absolute all for the things that really matter to you, and embracing that whole messy, beautiful journey of growth? Because ultimately, it's not about the cards you...
Please do subscribe.